Hello everyone, I'm MVL, and in this video we're going to be unboxing the massive Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen Deluxe Edition. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright then, so here we have the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen Deluxe Edition box set. This box is absolutely massive, and that's because it has a book in here, and it has a board game, and an exclusive DM screen as well. I'll give you a look at the packaging before I open up this set, and I'm pretty excited about this. I ordered it a little while ago, and it has finally arrived, so here you can see the contents right here. The book here is an exclusive design, cover design, to this set. There was a regular edition and a special edition released individually. They both have different artwork. I think one of them might have an artwork of a Death Knight on it, but this is unique to this set, as is the Dungeon Master screen. That is unique to this box set as well, exclusive to that for this artwork. I'm not sure if that will be a generic dungeon screen interior, we will see, or if it will be specific for this campaign. And there also is the board game included here as well. Very excited to open this up. There's the rest of the packaging right here. So, let's go ahead and open this up then. Now there is an opening tab here, but we might just be able to tear this off here, and it looks like we will. Try and preserve as much of the packaging as possible, and that actually just comes away pretty easily. I think I probably could have got away without breaking any of this, but it would be nice to keep the box for use of putting this stuff back into. And here you can see Heroes of Krynn, the Dragonlance board game inside there as well. So I think I'll get started by having a look at this DM screen right here. This looks pretty cool. We'll take that out. I suppose we will take everything out individually. I'm excited about this, so I want to get to it. So we'll take everything out, and then we will examine them individually. Don't even know where to start. There's the book. Now I won't be showing the interior of the book, because like with things like Warhammer, you're not supposed to show the rules for these things when you unbox them. But I will be showing you the interior of the DM screen, and I will be showing you the contents of the board game as well. But I will give you a bit of background about Dragonlance. This is a big box set right here. It is set in a post-apocalyptic setting, and I think it would be pretty good to continue on from the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. I think that's everything else that is in there. So if you ran Horde of the Dragon Queen and the Rise of Tiamat, and Tiamat was released, then you could run Dragonlance as a post-apocalyptic setting, and it would be pretty good for that. I can actually already tell that the book has a kind of shiny exterior to it with this same artwork right here. So we'll have a quick overview. I'm very excited to have a look at the DM screen. We will do that first. Almost want to jump the gun on that one. So we have the DM screen, the book for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. For the upcoming 1 D&D, the new edition of D&D, we are led to believe that 5th edition will be compatible with that as well. And then we have the Warriors of Krynn board game as well, which you can buy individually. And there's that. So I'll give you a better look at the packaging for all of this. I will be opening this up, checking out the contents for this on this unboxing video as well. But for now, let's put this aside. I've been very excited to have a look at this, the Dungeon Master screen. So fold out. We will be opening this up right now, and I think I might be able to get into it fairly easily with my nails without having to risk putting scissors to this. I have some scissors on standby if I need them, but we'll break off the plastic wrap. So I don't want to damage this. This is exclusive to this box set. It's pretty cool. It's not shiny like the Deluxe Edition books are, but it is pretty cool. So, this is so big it's going to be difficult to get on camera in its entirety, but as you can see, the artwork here continues all along this DM screen. It looks really good, and I like the design on this a lot. I really wanted this as my DM screen. It of course has a world on fire from the release of the dragons and the Dragon Queen herself, Tiamat, rising above, and the world itself rallying together to survive or even to take the fight back to the dragons. Let's have a look on the other side. I'll show you every panel here as well, so you can get a look at the design. It is very big, so it's a little difficult to get it all on screen, but as you can tell, it is a very good looking DM screen. Of course, it's not strictly necessary. You could have a regular DM screen. Now, as I suspected, some of the contents to this is unique to this campaign. So most of this is relatively generic. On this side we have some information about general Dungeons & Dragons rules, concentration, cover, counter distance and so forth. Conditions here. It's always nice to have reminders for conditions, so you know exactly what everything does. And then we have some DCs here and some encounter tables. So this is pretty cool. You can roll on encounter tables. I like to plan out my encounters, of course, but these can be handy for during a rest period for a party, or as just a random travel encounter to perhaps roll your D100 here and get a number of enemies from this. So we have a dragon army encounters here, so these are obviously set for this setting, but you could have on 1 to 5 on a D100 you could have 1 Arok Draconian and 1d6 Dragon Army soldiers, which I'm sure we will see some of these stat blocks as well as character options, new spells, new magic items and all that sort of thing in the main adventure book. Once again, I won't be showing the contents of the main adventure book, but I will be showing the contents of the board game. And then finally here we have some more tables of supplies for things like Dragon Army, which is pretty cool, and a little example of Draconians and size difference from humans as well. So there you go. I like this. I'm more of a fan of the generic side of this because that's the sort of thing I would probably use, and then I probably would get some of my own rules and maybe paperclip them over this for other games as well. But this is specific for the Dragonlance setting, so I do understand that being a part of this. But yes, a very nice looking Game Master screen there. Very excited about that. Looks very cool. Alright. Very excited about that. Also excited about this book, Shadows of the Dragon Queen. So, not sure how well this will show on the camera, but this does have a foil-like shine to it. It is a very good looking book. This cover art design is unique to this box set, so that's very cool. It looks different to the regular edition and the special edition. It looks similar to the packaging as a whole. There's the back. And as I mentioned, this is a post-apocalyptic setting featuring dragons. Lots of dragons. Very cool. There's a lot of stuff I want to dive into here. Most of these campaign books normally have new monsters, character options, new spells, and even if you're not going to run the campaign or the story from this, there are ideas and monsters you can draw from this for your original games as well, which is often what I do. So can't wait to dive into this very excited to pick up this book for Dragonlance Shadows of the Dragon Queen. And finally, let's take a look at the bulk of the box here. The Warriors of Krynn, the board game. There's the side of that. I'm pretty sure all the sides are very similar. And we will open this up and have a look. Now I know some of the Magic the Gathering board games from Wizards have a lot of miniatures inside. This one looks like it mostly has tokens. And honestly, that's a little bit of a letdown. I think it would have been nice, especially considering this is a deluxe set, if we had had for the armies and for the troops, as well as the characters, if we had had miniatures for everything rather than tokens. I understand that might be asking a bit much for a small game here that's not supposed to take up a lot of space, but I think it would have been nice, and then you could have used those miniatures for your Dungeons & Dragons games as well. I've seen some of the Magic the Gathering board games that have tons of minis in there that you could paint up and use for games if you wanted to. But this has 6 hero figures. It has 6 hero boards, 130 plastic markers, which honestly I would have liked to have had some more figures. 9 double-sided battle tiles and 22 double-sided adventure tiles. 7 custom dice, 106 tokens, 323 cards, 1 storage tray, 1 rule book, 1 scenario book, and 1 key movement tracker. Now this is its own game, of course, but it's still a very cool inclusion, and you could implement this as a mini-game into your Dragonlance campaign if you wanted to. Let's have a look at the contents inside of this box. Alright then. So, we have our first sheet of pop-out tokens here. Now I'm very familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, but I have not played this game. But I do like having these sets for if you do want to play something roleplay adjacent, if you will. These are double-sided as well. You can certainly save some space by popping these out, and I think similar to the tokens you used to get in Dungeons & Dragons set, where you used to use them as miniatures, you could probably pop these back in here to organise them as well, or just throw these away and put some grip seal bags and put these in that if you wanted to. Or Pathfinder pawns for that matter, which I actually still use a lot of those. And next we have another double-sided sheet right here. Some of those tiles. They are labelled. So we have the coast. We have Dragon Army Outpost here as well. These are a little too small to use in a regular game of D&D, but they're specific, of course, use for this game. And we have a third sheet right here, mostly tiles for this one. Got a pond. There's the other side of that one as well. There is a big rule book in this game as well, so you could get the rules from that. This is event cards, apparently. Pop out yourself. And here we have some character cards, like your character sheets before this game. And these would mark your resources and stress as you progress through the game. So we have Levana Drakehorn, Hrig Roundrook, Temble, and Valakmos, Ayuk and Iriad. That's the characters here. Oh, and the back of these as well. Double-sided. Okay, and a bit of paper. Here is a scenario book, which is actually, from how this looked on the back, I thought this would be a bigger book. This is just paperback. Similar to what you get in the D&D starter sets, actually. So there you go, there's the scenario book. And at the back it has a campaign chronicle. Some more paper. And we have a rule book. Again, this is a very thin book, like the scenario book. I was sort of expecting these to be a bit bigger. But then again, for this kind of game, I can't be surprised that they're not as big as the campaign book itself, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. There's that. Some more paper. And we have some miniatures and lots of tiles. So these look to be pre-inked. And I'm very tempted to paint these miniatures after the fact and use them for D&D. We'll see how easy these are to get out of here. Very easy, that's nice. So there's the first mini. They've been inked so you can see the detail, which is very cool. And it looks pretty good to me. Here's the next one. And they are very nice and easy to take out of the box. And like I mentioned, I might paint these to use them for regular D&D. They appear to be already primed. The inking is very good to see the details. This one looks very cool as well, with those two daggers and that big cape. Fur cape. 6 minis included here. This next one is an archer with the bow at the ready. These are great looking minis, I will say that, for those 6 hero miniatures that were included in this game. Here's the 5th in no particular order. They're nice and easy to get out of the box as well. This one is a spellcaster with their staff raised and their arm outstretched to cast magic. Very good looking miniatures. I'm actually very impressed by how these miniatures look for what are extras in a board game. Would it be nice to get a miniature set with this? And this is the last mini. It looks like a dwarf. And this mini has a dwarven hammer at the ready to swing at the opposing armies that approach it. Very cool. Yeah, I will say these minis look really good. Other than that, there are loads of tiles in here. Lots of tiles. I think these are double-sided. Fields, crossroads, and a blank card. Okay. Here we have some more tiles. River crossing, city gate, city wall, broken lands, farmstead, barrows, steps, and stunted forest. Again, these are too small, I would say, to use for Dungeons & Dragons, but they're specific for this game. And we also have some tokens in here. Lots of tokens. These look a little bit like Monopoly extras. Like hotels in Monopoly. Kind of what they look like. We have some specific dice. Now the dice here, they would not be usable in Dungeons & Dragons. It looks like they denote perhaps a miss with a blank space. They have dragons and swords on them. And the red dice is different as well. So unfortunately those couldn't be used as D&D dice. We have some more hotels here for Monopoly. These are supposed to denote an army force, so that's what they are for, I think. with the red being for one side and the purple being for another. And then there's a spacer here. Lots and lots of cards. So here's the War Engine cards. I won't open these up right now because there's so many of these, and I don't exactly, since I don't know how to play this game, the board game that is, I wouldn't know what to tell you about them other than they're here. But there you go. These are recruit cards, die here apparently. War Engine cards, veterans, and some more cards here. These are tiny cards. We have an Unholy Draining there, legendary. Fire Ridges here, veteran, and lots of strength. Recruit start here. Okay, like I said, first time opening this particular game. This is a brand new game, so I don't know how to play it, but I do know how to play Dungeons & Dragons, so I'm excited about that. And that's it. The rest of this is just cardboard spaces. So there you go. Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen Deluxe Set. Loads of extras in here. We had the board game, of course, that's the top of it. We had the book, which was really great. We had the DM screen, which I'm particularly happy about, exclusive to this set. And of course, it all came in this big box right here. So there you go. Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Hope you like this unboxing. Thank you for watching. Please don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that like button. I have been MVL, and I will catch you next time.